Greetings and welcome back to the Osha Cerese Show. I am your host, Osha Cerese, and this is your daily dose of real talk where culture meets coaching and where healing meets headlines and where we utilize alchemy to transmute gossip into growth. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I am Osha Cerese. I'm a certified life coach, an event curator, and a dream doula, helping you to birth your ideas and bring them to life. So, I appreciate you all for joining me. If you are here on YouTube where this show lives, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. And if you're watching on Instagram where I'm also streaming it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It lives on YouTube. All the old episodes are on YouTube as well under my live tab. This is a pop-up show, so you never know when I'm going to pop up. So make sure you're not only subscribed, but you also click the bell so your notifications can be turned on. So you can get the notification like, okay, the Osha Cerese show is on. Let me pull up. Again, thank you for tuning in. The link is in my bio to subscribe if you're watching on Instagram. It is youtube.com/@OshaCerese. Again, it's in my bio, so it's easy for you to do. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We 23 days in, coming on live every day for 23 days straight. So my voice is a little raspy today. I was I was preparing for the show and I'm like, ooh, all this yapping got my voice a little So the drink of the day is some tea. Hot tea. It's steeping right now. This is some jasmine green tea. Some organic jasmine green tea. So that's what I'm on. I had some tea earlier today too. This is Sunday, so I indulged in a little self-care today. Not that you have to wait until Sunday to indulge in self-care, but self-care Sunday vibes. What I did today was a yoni steam, and I also drank some red raspberry leaf tea. So I was working on my womb wellness today. Yoni steams, if you're not familiar, it's a bunch of different herbs that are beneficial to the womb. You put it you steep it on the stove just like you would tea that you drink. And then I have a special yoni steam stool that I had designed and crafted for me. And it basically is like a box. It has a little hole at the top, kind of like a toilet seat, but it lifts up. But it's like a square shape. It's made out of wood, really good quality wood. And then in the bottom of it, I have a little heating burner, a little burner. And you put your tea on top of that in a pot specifically designed for the yoni steams. And you put your yoni steam gown on, covering up your breasts all the way down. And then you sit on the pot and allow the steam to cleanse your womb. It's for cleansing, for healing, for detoxing, for toning, for releasing, all of the things that your womb needs. Sometimes, it's very good to do before your cycle. If you're sexually active, it's a good thing to do after, being with your partner. And men can actually steam as well. I think they call it I can't think of what they call it when men do it, but you can steam as well. There's other benefits for men. I am a certified yoni steam practitioner. I've never steamed a man, but you find somebody that'll do that for you. But yes, today's self-care for me was womb wellness, red raspberry leaf tea, a nice yoni steam, just some reflection, some releasing, and some quiet time, some rest and relaxation. Hold up, y'all. There be too much activity going on. I'm one of them old old aunties that I gotta see what's going on outside with people creeping around. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. That's your self-care Sunday. Fun fact. Look it up. Steaming, yoni steaming, V steaming. Maybe I'll talk about it more in depth on Saturday. Maybe I'll bring back Sensual Saturdays and talk a little bit more about it. But we drinking jasmine green tea right now. And cheers to amazing health, wellness, happiness, joy, success, love, and abundance. Boop. Cheers. That is so good. And jasmine smells amazing. Yes, Lord. Whew. Excuse me, y'all. I have to take care of my vocals because I've been yapping for 23 days straight. So first of all, happy Black History Month. We're celebrating Black History all month and beyond. Today's Black History Spotlight, the amazing, incomparable, everybody's favorite mom, Miss Jenifer Lewis. I wanted to highlight and spotlight Miss Jenifer Lewis on today. You know, she's coined as the mother of Black Hollywood, and that's for a reason. She was born January 25th, 1957 in Kinloch, Missouri, which is a suburb of St. Louis. She's the youngest of 7 children, and her mother, Dorothy Lewis, was a nurse's aide, and Edward James Lewis, her father, was a factory worker. She attended Kinloch High School and later studied at Webster University in St. Louis, where she earned an honorary degree in 2015. Her early beginnings for her career, she started off in Broadway. On Broadway, she moved to New York. She landed roles in Broadway musicals like Eubie, if I'm pronouncing that right, Eubie, in 1979. She was initially cast as Effie White in The Workshop of Dreamgirls, though the role was later given to Jennifer Holliday. She became one of Bette Midler's backup singers, known as the Harlots, which helped launch her Hollywood career. Some of her roles include A Different World, which don't tell nobody, but I've never seen A Different World. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. A Different World, Sister Act, Poetic Justice, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, What's Love Got to Do with It? She killed that role. The Preacher's Wife, Think Like a Man, and Think Like a Man Too, The Messy Meddling Mama. And they say her best known role is Blackish. Don't tell nobody this, but I ain't seen an episode of Blackish either, y'all. But she's just, when you think of Black mother in Hollywood, you're going to think of her or Loretta Devine. And, you know, some of her personal struggles, she has openly discussed that she has bipolar disorder. And I love that she advocates for mental health and wellness. She emphasizes therapy and self-care. So she's not afraid or ashamed to share her diagnosis, but also to advocate for wellness, natural self-healing, as well as seeking therapy and support. She has a memoir, The Mother of Black Hollywood, a memoir. 2017 is when it was released. And she shares her journey through fame, trauma, and healing. And she's very outspoken and an outspoken that's a tongue twister. She's an outspoken advocate for civil rights, LGBTQ plus rights, and mental health awareness. And she recently shared she had a really big accident when she was in Africa, where she was outside, like, admiring the energy of being in Africa. It was at night, and she literally fell like 10 feet off of the side of this balcony or something and I think she broke her leg or her hip, so she had to recover from that. That was very traumatic. Give me a tea break because I feel my voice getting raspy. But Jenifer Lewis is just one of them ladies that you just automatically, it says Black mother, but she gives you just auntie vibes, because I don't think she has children either. So of course you don't have to have children to be motherly, or be a mother, or be, you know, a mother to people. But she gives me rich auntie vibes, favorite auntie vibes. And she's always her energy, I don't want to say she's always happy, because that's not a fair emotion to put on somebody, to always be happy, but her energy is always bold. She takes up space. She's confident. She sings, she dances, she's flexible, she kicks that leg up in the air. She's acting, she's doing things that she loves. She seems like she's just has welcoming energy, but also don't play with her. So I really appreciate her presence in Hollywood and just the presence that she has in the Black community. So shout out to you, Miss Jenifer Lewis. Keep going. We love to see you showing up and shining and being big, bold, and you. And let me just rewind a little bit because I'm gonna talk about Miss Jenifer Lewis a little bit more too. But side note, don't take my black card, but I've never seen an episode of either A Different World or Blackish. Of course, I've seen clips. These are both shows that are on my watch list, y'all, that I do intend on watching. But I think as a child, I really think this is going to sound petty, and we're going to talk about petty stuff too today. I really think that the reason why I never watched A Different World is because I didn't like the theme song. Like, whenever it would come on, and I know it's Aretha Franklin, and of course, she's one of the GOATs, but I didn't vibe with the theme song, so I just would click off. Similar to when MASH used to come on, when you stayed up too late and you started, you watching TV, and then all of a sudden the MASH theme song come on. I didn't vibe with it, so I just cut it off. But I've seen clips, I've heard all of the, the think pieces and everything about A Different World, and I definitely plan on watching it. I think I heard it recently got put on Netflix, so that'll make it easier for me to just watch it. And another side note, speaking of Netflix, when I tell y'all, I told y'all that I'm not really rocking with Love is Blind this season. And I just reminded myself that I said I was going to record a video for Ready to Love, which I need to do. But Love is Blind is just not giving this season. I don't know if it's because it lacks diversity, but it's boring. Like the season before this, I was tuned in to what was going on. I was invested. I was interested in how I wanted to see the couples evolve. I was paying attention. I was doing reviews about it. This one, I'm just like, I'm scrolling while it's on, zoned out, not really paying attention, not interested. And the only thing I will say is that there's one particular couple. I think their names are, I don't know if it's David and Lauren. I don't know. But he basically, he feels like, I guess she had a smash buddy. And she was seeing him up until she went on this show. So, I don't know if you know, but with reality shows, because I've applied for a couple of them myself, there's a process to the reality show. So you have to apply, you have to be, they go through all the applicants, they review them, they interview you on the phone. Sometimes they then do a video interview if you've made it past the phone interview phase. And then they have to decide and do all these things. And then if you're going to get called back, you're going to get called back at a certain time, and you have to prepare to go and be on set or be a part of this experiment or whatever the show is. As a single woman, I think it's fair for both the single man and the single woman to, if they're dating casually, but they're looking for love, whether you're going on a reality show or not. Some people choose to focus on dating one person at a time. Some people are open to dating multiple people at a time. Some people use certain folks that they're dating as a placeholder for intimacy, going on dates, just a breathing body, some little chores around the house, or whatever it is that you have this person in your life as a placeholder for. But she had someone that she was casually dating, but her intentions are she wants marriage. This person apparently doesn't want that with her, or she doesn't want it with him. But for the time being, he's cool enough for them to be arranging, basically being smash buddies. So when she gets the call, I guess she has spent maybe some time with this Smash Buddy a week before she went on Love is Blind. So she falls in love with this guy in the pods, falls in love. And now he's saying that his homies, I don't even think they're his close friends, just associates or whatever, or maybe they are his friends, but they're saying that this guy that was her Smash Buddy is saying that they were together in a relationship up until she went on the show. She's trying to prove to him that no, we were not in a relationship. It was not that serious. We were Smash Buddies. That's all it was. She's introducing him to her homegirls. They're telling him like it's not like that. Like she literally, we didn't even meet him. We meet people that she takes seriously. And she's crying. He's bringing it up. He's straight faced, not really even showing any empathy. Every time they talk about it, she's crying. And I'm thinking like, at this point, just let it be your deal breaker, sir. Like, if you can't handle the fact that she was intimate with somebody else that she was dealing with before she came on the show, and you're not willing to let it go and move on, why keep torturing her and dangling it over her head like, oh, I got to figure out I got to see what's the truth and what's not. And then she needs to stand up and stop begging. Like, if he is uncomfortable with it and it's something that he can't move on from, then you move on. So, we gonna get into more of this conversation. So culture_M says, can't watch that show. Background music. What about the background music? And then he said, let me see. Are you culture_M? What's your name? Because I don't know. I can't really see your profile picture because the computer is kind of small. It was before the pods. Get over it. Exactly. Like, if you've spent your time getting to know this woman, enjoying her company, the show is background music. Exactly. Absolutely. It's like elevator music. You hear it, but you don't. And that's unfortunate because Love is Blind has the potential to be a great show because last season I felt was really good. It had diversity. You had different types of couples, different types of challenges that they had to overcome. It was interesting. These folks, there's only one couple that I really like together. I don't even remember their names. And then they ended up having some mess on one of the episodes that I just watched yesterday. So I'm like, as soon as you like a couple, some mess comes up. I know it's probably some produced drama that they throw in there for ratings, but it's just a mess. But anyway, I just feel like instead of trying to force something that's clearly not working, let's just wipe our hands of it. Like, don't be letting no man break you down to tears and make you feel small because he's not willing to let go of the fact that this clown is out here with your name in his mouth trying to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, because all of the friends are saying that whoever this dude is, he kind of is looking for his claim to fame and wants to be included on the show. So we'll see how it unfolds. I don't know. But back to shows I haven't seen. I haven't seen A Different World. I do plan on watching it. I think it was the theme show that threw me off as a child because I watched pretty much every other black sitcom and I watched white sitcoms. I like Full House, Home Improvement, Step by Step, Roseanne. I was watching all of them. So I don't know why I didn't watch A Different World. Culture_M says, it's a good concept, but folks need to take time with relationships. The new thing of being married before the season finale is wild work on God. Or having to propose before you can even get out the pods. Like, that's why I would not do Love is Blind. Because love ain't blind to me, baby. I need to see what's going on. I need the total image of what I'm signing up for. And no, looks are not everything. But I won't be able to hide it. Once the doors open, the elevator doors, and I don't like the way you look, I'm not going to be able to hide it on my face. Tim the Tool Man Taylor. Oh, God. I loved all of those shows. And then, of course, the black shows I watched. Martin, Living Single, Family Matters. I watched The Wayans Brothers. I watched, what were some of the other shows? The Cosby Show. I literally watched all the other ones. And then I used to watch the old school shows too that I didn't really get into Good Times and all of those shows until I was a little older, but like I would be watching Little House on the Prairie and Charles in Charge and Three's Company. I used to love me a good sitcom. I remember because Full House used to be my show as a child. And I remember being really excited to see this particular episode, but I fell asleep. And back then there was no DVRs. I didn't record it on VCR because I was intending on staying up to watch it. And I remember waking up and missing it. And I literally cried so long and so loud that my mom called the network to see if there was any way they could replay the show. Like, I was tripping. And it wasn't until adulthood, because I remember the episode, what it was about. It was when I think she woke up with big feet or something and had some red shoes. I remember red shoes and big feet. So I remember rewatching Full House as an adult and finally seeing that episode. It wasn't even all that. Crying for nothing. Culture_M says Little House on the Prairie gives me anxiety. Same with Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. See, I forgot about Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Why does it give you anxiety? I used to watch Dr. Quinn too. I used to love me some Hercules and some Xena the Warrior Princess too. Yes, red shoes and big feet. And then I haven't seen Blackish or Mixed-ish, but I do intend on watching that too. Like, I was kind of, since I didn't get into it when it first came on, I just was like, let me just wait until the series is over with and binge watch it. So I do plan on watching that as well. I love me some Tracy Ellis Ross, so I gotta watch it. Too much wit problem. Oh, white problems, way different than black problems. Yeah, I don't even remember what type of time they was on a Little House on the Prairie. I remember like bits and pieces of what it looked like, but I can't tell you what the plot was. I used to always watch Brady Bunch too, and I was born in '88. You see me always wear my '88 necklace. I was born in '88, so these shows came out way before I was born, but I was locked in. I was locked in. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about Jenifer Lewis. And this is going to also flow us into the topic that I want to discuss today. So Jenifer Lewis left a man over a tree. And let me elaborate. We were trying to pay the rent while they were trying to survive for winter. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. So Jenifer Lewis left a man over a tree, y'all. And let me let y'all hear it from her mouth. Mm-mm. I gotta find it because it's on a thread post that I just created. So I posted it in here somewhere. I might just have to look it up directly because, baby, these folks are responding. Let me look it up on YouTube for 1 second. Okay. I believe it is this one. No. This one. Here's the example of why I had to get rid of him. We're driving on a car, driving on a big car. Life is great, and I come up on an Australian tree that I know is extinct, but it blooms pink. Tree. That's something to acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. So we're driving, and I go, oh, that's a pretty tree. Him. You say that about every tree.
I was like, well, nigga, you gotta go. What's wrong with you? I'm sorry, but don't them help us breathe? Wait, but please tell me your thoughts about this person in the comments. Here's the example of why.
Oh, Lordy. So, she didn't technically leave him alone because of a tree. I'm going to read some of the comments and then I'm going to give my take. Somebody said it wasn't about the man, it was about his lack of gratitude for life. Someone else said, that's my ex-husband, the epitome of a killjoy. I can totally relate. Can't remember how many days I came home happy in less than 5 minutes being around him, and I'm crying. After 5 years, I couldn't take it anymore. Hashtag happily divorced. Hashtag freedom is now. Another person, I feel her. I wish I was internally woke younger because I would have never dated some of the men I dated and would have patiently waited for the right one. Love Jenifer Lewis and her wisdom. Misery loves company. She's hilarious. I love and respect trees too. She made the right decision. Birds of a feather can't flock with the negative cloudy weather. The funny part about it, there is a woman out there screaming, go girl, know your worth. Imagine leaving a man for a tree. This woman has never been in a serious relationship and she is over 60, but she is a great actress. He don't get it. Uh, Someone says, she is speaking my language. If you don't get excited about the beauty of this world, I am looking at you in my rearview mirror. So, again, other people may look at that and feel like that's not a big deal. Like she said, look at the tree, look how beautiful it is. He looked at her and said, oh, you say that about every tree. But it was more than just looking at the tree and admiring the tree. It was about at that very moment, it was about several things. At that moment, she had some joy that she wanted to share with him, and he minimized it by saying, oh, you say that about everything. At that moment, she wanted to admire nature. Like she said, the trees provide us with oxygen. And it wasn't just a regular old tree. This particular tree was a tree that is rare because I guess it's extinct. Technically, it can't be extinct because she saw it, but I guess it's rare or endangered. Maybe they've been chopped down. I don't know. But um, you can't bask in the beauty of nature. You can't bask in the beauty of my joy. You can't share a joyful moment with me. You're minimizing how I'm feeling and reducing it to oh, you do that all the time. So that moment that she felt uplifted and excited and just taken aback, you just, like the woman said, you were just a killjoy. So that's what the energy was giving for her. And again, if someone doesn't appreciate what brings you joy, it may be a sign of emotional incompatibility. And it's not always about the big romantic gestures, it's like small everyday things that build up emotional bonds. So I brought this story up because I shared a thread post yesterday and it's been getting some feedback. You know, I stay ruffling feathers on threads. And let me tell y'all this. Threads, let me give you the definition of a thread online. We're not talking about needle and thread. We're talking about an online thread. An online thread refers to a series of connected posts or comments on a social media platform, forum, or other online discussion space where users reply to each other on a specific topic, creating a structured conversation that follows a single narrative or line of discussion, essentially acting like a chain of related messages. Each reply is linked to the previous post, allowing users to easily follow the conversation flow. Threads usually center around a particular subject or idea, enabling deeper exploration and detailed discussion. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and recently Threads from Instagram heavily utilize threads to facilitate extended conversations. So when you come on a platform called Threads, be prepared to read. Be prepared for there to be a conversation starter. Be prepared for people to have story times and there to be an engaging post where you're going back and forth with dialogue and conversation. I'm saying all that to say some of the people in my comments complaining about, oh, you wrote all that, and oh, it didn't take all of that energy, or I'm not reading all of that. Take your ass to Pinterest if you want to just flip and skim through pictures. Threads is for the conversationalists. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. This was the thread that I posted. And then, as a content strategist, when you're wanting an engaging post or an engaging reel or whatever, you want to start with a hook, and then you get into your story. So, just those disclaimers. I stopped talking to this guy because he said, I'm not about to be your photographer. It was our first official in-person date. We had been getting to know each other over the phone, having virtual dates, and FaceTiming during the height of the pandemic. On our walk, there was a wall of beautiful graffiti art that I wanted to take a picture in front of. He took a few pics, maybe just a couple. I'll have to look in my gallery. He then went on to say that he doesn't mind taking a picture or two, but he's not about to be my photographer. He wasn't just talking about the moment, he was talking about overall. He made sure I knew he wasn't joking, and he looked a bit annoyed, as if this request usually grinds his gears. To some people, this is probably not a big deal. I got into a literal argument with my homeboy about this very subject. He said it was crazy for that to be a deal breaker for me. He insisted that no man wants to take a woman's photos while they're out and about, and he thinks it's gay when he sees men doing it in public. As someone who has always been the camera woman, taking candids of others, capturing memories, and getting the best angles for everyone to enjoy the way their snapshots come out, I deserve the same energy. There are several events I've been in attendance for throughout the years that I don't have any photos from that aren't selfies or just videos. No, let me repeat that. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. There are several events I've been in attendance for throughout the years that I don't have any photos from that aren't selfies, or home videos of family gatherings where I'm just the voice behind the camera. I've done full-on photo shoots for others, and when it's my turn, their whole mood changes and my pictures are rushed and look like trash. It's not just about being my photographer. It's about being willing to do something that brings me joy. It's about having the desire to capture me and special moments through your lens. I'm all about being present, being in the moment, and not having to bust out the phone or camera for every little thing. But in the moments where I request some photos to be taken, your effort and energy is noticed. Loving someone in their love language is important. As a single woman, I usually just take selfies or prop my phone up to capture certain moments, but I would love when I meet my person for him not to mind being my photographer sometimes. Side note, that wasn't the only reason I stopped talking to him. That was just one that stood out for me on our first and final date. At that moment, I realized how important that was to me. So, culture_M says, some folks don't read without pictures. Yeah, it's evident. They need to get up off of platforms that are designed for you to be able to read. So, this story time was again from a date that I went on with a guy that I think is a great guy. We're still cool. You know, we check on each other here and there. We still follow each other on social media. He's decent. He's a cool dude. I really enjoyed getting to know him during the pandemic. He put in a lot of effort and energy to helping me and himself adjust to our new normal. We met at the beginning of the height of the pandemic on Hinge. We connected. We had a virtual FaceTime date. One time we had a date watching the movie together over the phone, talking about it, discussing it. And I really enjoyed actually just the art of getting to know someone and being intentional and not having the pressure of we gotta, hurry up and rush so we can get on this date, or we meet and then we haven't got to know each other at all, and we find out that we don't like each other, even though some people might feel like if you've gotten to know somebody for so long and then you finally meet and it's not that great, that it's a waste of your time. But I didn't feel like it was a waste of my time. I feel like I learned a lot from, our encounter or whatever. And I'm not tripping about what happened, but it was a lesson learned. So anyway, we ended up having our first official date um, at the Beltline here in Atlanta. We were gonna go meet up, go for a walk, talk, feel out each other's energy or whatever. So again, there were there were several things that came up during the date that were red flags for me. And not red flags meaning that he was necessarily a bad person, but just he wasn't my person. So I'm gonna read, let me see. Culture_M says it's not serious. Taking pictures are what couples do. Number one, in this time, he could have seen you in a different light, capturing memories, etc. Two, you're on a date, so this is showing the woman you're uncooperative. And taking pictures is not gay. This world is crazy sometimes. Absolutely. I'm going to acknowledge everything you just said. So there were other things that came up. I'm going to just say some of the other deal breakers, because some people don't understand why that would be a deal breaker, even if it was just the only thing. I probably still would decide to walk away, and I'll explain why. But he made a comment. I feel like he unintentionally body shamed me. Um, right before, I think the month before we met, I did a detox in 2020. I went on a 32-day detox. So I was eating very clean, plant-based foods, no starches, no oils, no sugars, no fried foods. And I was drinking these nasty bitter teas twice a day, like Parasite Cleanse, Candida Cleanse, tummy detox, and I lost a lot of weight. So I was slim. I was very slim. And I'm naturally slim, actually. Like, both of my parents are pretty slim. They're not skinny, but they're, um and I grew up tall and slim. And I got my grown woman weight on me now. So I'm a little thick right now, but I'm naturally slim. So when I did that detox, I kind of was like under my normal weight. So I was really slim. Um, but he knew that I had been detoxing, and he knew that when we met that I wasn't at my average weight. I was at my post detox weight. And he made comments about my body, and I feel like people don't understand that. Just like somebody don't want to be clowned or talked about when they're bigger or overweight or obese, people don't want to be body shamed when they're slimmer either. I don't need you saying, "Where's my ass?" and "Oh, you so slim," and made several comments. And I don't think that he was trying to hurt my feelings or anything, but I didn't like that. He also made comments about my outfit choice. I had on t-shirts. I had on a t-shirt, some jean shorts, and some little sandals. Oh, I thought you would have worn a dress. So it was just like, I just felt nitpicked at. So when we were walking and I saw the wall, I don't even think it was graffiti, because I looked back at the pictures. It was a painted wall. It might have been graffiti. I don't know. I think I mentioned, oh, that's cute. I want to take a picture in front of it. And I don't even know if I necessarily asked him to take the picture, but I remember him clearly saying, I'll take one or two pictures of you, but I'm not about to be your personal photographer. And he made mention about how that's like a boundary for him overall. And so I did share with him how I felt about, you know, his statement, and just where the backstory comes from of how I know that that doesn't work for me. And, you know, he listened. He was like, okay, I understand, but that doesn't mean that I imposed my views on him. I respected his boundary. I appreciated the boundary as well, because let me know now what your boundaries are so I can know if they align with mine. So I could have decided to overlook the fact that he's gung-ho about not wanting to take pictures for his woman, and then be bitter about it when I'm in the relationship with him and he never wants to do it, or he's annoyed when I ask. Why would I do that? I'm just going to accept what you feel. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise or change you. I accept it. I respect you for sharing. Thank you. It doesn't align with me. Peace. So that was that situation. Um, Taking pictures are what couples do. And I agree with that too. And I feel like there's, first of all, again, back history, backstory. I actually value pictures. Like, that is my prized possession. If I had to, if someone asked me to come on, you got to leave, grab your necessities, I'm going to grab my pictures. And I grew up, you know, in Colorado, away from my mother's side of the family who lived in Birmingham. That was the way that we stayed close. That is the way that I feel just as close to my mother's side as I do to my father's side, even though I grew up with my father's side in the same neighborhoods, going to the same schools, spending the night at grandma's house, going over cousin's house, all of that. I still feel just as close with my family in Birmingham, even though we didn't always live in the same, or we never lived in the same state, and we didn't always see each other. It was because of those pictures. Like, that was what I looked forward to, going to the mailbox and getting letters and pictures. And I still have all my pictures that I've ever received. Um, we had something called intercession when I was in high school. And there were several different classes that we could take. It was between Christmas break and coming back to school to start for the spring semester. It was like a 3-week intercession, and you had several different classes you could take. I took the scrapbooking class. I still have my scrapbook right here. I read some songs and poetry out of it last night. I got to get it rebounded because it's off uh it's off its hinges. But it's called Reminiscing, a photo memory book. And scrapbooking became a passion of mine too. Like, not just creating a photo album, but adding, little designs and stories and history. My family tree is in here. So I'm not just the average selfie queen, even though I am a selfie queen too. But photos are special to me. And growing up, I'm always the one behind the camera. I'm always taking candid, not just like, hey, pose, let me take your picture. Literally capturing moments, capturing people, capturing family. I lost my Facebook page, got hacked, and I didn't really care about a lot of the things that I lost with that, but my pictures and videos that were only on Facebook, I lost so many memories and stuff. But I had videos of, like, being at my aunt's house. We're having parties and singing karaoke performances, all of her kids performing on stage together. I'm taking pictures of people holding their babies or seeing folks for the first time, and just recording special moments, capturing them. And that is how I show my love for other people. And I noticed as I was getting older, like, damn, I'm always the person behind the camera. Like, nobody else ever just picks up the camera and takes some candids of me. When I was married, taking pictures and videos and having memories of my stepchildren and my ex-husband and my in-laws and all of that. And I'm like, damn, you wouldn't even know I was involved, because unless I sit here and take a picture of us, a selfie or an ussie, no one would know. And I feel like selfies and ussies are cute, and they also capture memories as well. But nothing beats candid moments. Nothing beats seeing yourself in the moment, off guard, someone actually looking at you and seeing your beauty or seeing a special moment and wanting to encapsulate that for you. So that is really special to me. That makes me feel loved. That makes me feel included, valued, my presence valued. It makes me feel seen. And I like, that's my love. That's one of my love languages. Music is, like, outside of the 5 love languages that we talk about. I've told y'all that music is one of my love languages. Deep love language, music. But the other one, the other top love language of mine is photos, like capturing memories. And with my partner, I feel like that's intimacy as well. Like I want to see how I look through your lens, or type of what type of moment sparks you or prompts you to take out your phone or a camera and be like, I want to capture that. So that's just me. That is something that I've learned about myself over the years. So I'm gonna get to the gay comment too, but I want to read some of the comments. So let's see. One of the ladies said, he'll never tell you you're pretty too. That man was jealous of you and would attempt to humble you every chance he got had you continue talking to him. Now, because I know the man that I met up with, I didn't get those vibes from him. And I actually talked about jealousy in relationships and friendships and family 2 or 3 episodes ago, if you want to check that out. But I didn't get that vibe from him, but I understand completely of what she's talking about. A woman said, well, that woman was the underscore RX queen. Her audacity to travel. Number 2, travel. I definitely want my future husband to randomly take his phone out and take pictures and video of me and be like, there goes my baby. Ladies, if this is what you want, never settle. It's either the man behind the camera with a scowl on his face because he really hates you, or the man behind the camera who is madly in love with you. I am Marcus Hellum says, I agree with Homeboy. Set the boundaries in the beginning. I said, I believe in that as well. And I respect boundaries 100%. It definitely helps to discover if you're aligned and compatible with someone. Lorenzo the God says, laughing my ass off. Nah, for real. If I'm fucking with you, I'm going to get you the entire photo shoot, baby girl. I say, hey. Faithy with 3 eyes says, I think what people don't get is that it wasn't just about him not liking to take your photos per se. It was about his unwillingness to at least do something that you like. We're not looking for perfect partners who share 100% of our hobbies, but rather for those who are willing to partake in things that make us happy, whether that's taking photos or playing video games together. Facts. Someone else said, your feelings are valid. She says, it saddens me when I hear about men or women griping about doing what would make their partner happy. All I hear is they don't like their partner, in which case they should leave, because why would you be with someone who wasn't adding joy to your life, and vice versa? Could never be me. She said, literally, you made the right choice. I hope the men who aren't getting it, because I haven't got to all the men comments yet, but she says, I hope they're realizing it's not only about the act, it's about bringing joy to your partner's life. It's a symbol of your devotion. If you don't want to add joy to your partner's life, please leave that person alone so they can find someone who never questions doing anything that would make them happy. I need y'all to look at what is being requested and equate it to an act of love. Obviously, this goes for a reasonable request. Don't unalive anyone. So this man here is Corsa do, I don't know. Corsa do Ac KORSADOAKEN Brown. Corsa do Akin do. I don't know. I spelled it for y'all. In a day and age where everyone has a camera, everyone is a photographer. How many pictures of himself does he take? Since he feels this in general, my guess is this is more rooted in the idea that he thinks women are too full of themselves instead of just wanting fun memories. Just take the pictures for the lady. These guys are so worried about not being the main character. And I responded and said, he doesn't like taking pictures of himself either. Eventually, he probably would have thought I was annoying anyway, because I love capturing my loved ones. And yes, it's about wanting fun memories and the intimacy of seeing yourself through the lens of someone who loves you. Queen underscore bug. I dated a guy once who said he didn't like looking at pictures of himself, and I later realized it was because he was insecure about his looks. He later started to put me down about my looks, even though he'd also tell me I was very beautiful. It sounds like the guy you were talking about was also very insecure. So seeing that you enjoy having pictures of yourself taken to look back on and enjoy triggered him because he can't understand the joy you feel from it. He's definitely giving Dusty. I said, folks who try to humble you or project their insecurities are the worst. I know he doesn't like taking photos, but I'm not sure if he was projecting or if he had experience being taken advantage of or used. He definitely made it clear that that was his boundary for him. That was a boundary for him. I explained to him why it was important to me and he had more clarity, but ultimately we wouldn't have been compatible. Um, Someone else, manatee underscore flip said, good for you. Trust your gut. Know your needs. Your homie that thinks taking pictures is gay is out of pocket with that. I have a friend who takes pictures a lot. She has some of the best photos, beautiful pictures, candid, some of me, and I had no idea she was taking them. Pictures are truly the modern diary. Next. So I'm gonna get to the gay thing. Um Mac Attack Pick says neither one of you are wrong. He expressed his boundary. It doesn't work for you. It's over now. This is how dating is supposed to work. Then here come some of the trolls. Anybody read all that? I said another turn off. Men who want to date women but don't want to discover what women desire, and men who don't read. This guy is named Giants Amongst Men. He says, sweetheart, it's layers to this shit. You didn't key, I guess you didn't get a simple paragraph about the situation. You put a 3.5 essay up here. And it's a two-way street. No man wants a long-winded woman. I say each part of the story is only a couple of sentences, not even a full paragraph. And speak for yourself. The men I've dated enjoy listening to me, and I also return the favor. Find you a mute who doesn't require anything from you and leave me out of it. So he just responded with a GIF. DMCD Jr. says she wanted a groupie, not a boyfriend. I said, if that's what you consider groupie behavior, I can only imagine your idea of romance or intimacy. N Say No says, he dodged a bullet. We aren't your personal photographers. Go hire one. Yeah. So for the most part, most of the women understood. A few men did too. Some men wanted to troll me about it. But again, it's the thought that counts. It's the gesture. It's the act of wanting to see me happy. And then again, I'm not looking for no photographer. I'm not looking for you to just be like, okay, it's a photo shoot and take 100,000 pictures of me. Although I would love that. But if it's a special moment or whatever, I would like you to just have the notion to do it on your own. Or if I do ask for a couple of pictures, hook me up. Give me some good angles like I'm gonna get you. I got I got a friend who stopped talking to a girl who couldn't get his angles right. Because people think it sounds petty, but I truly believe that you can tell how a person feels about you by the way your pictures turn out when they take them. I'm not gonna call no names or label the relationship, but somebody that I went out with one time, a woman, my age, I remember we were in the bathroom at the club and she was like, take my picture. And so I took a whole bunch of nice pictures of her. The flash wasn't on, but it was light enough and the pictures came out nice. And so I was like, okay, take me some. So I handed her the picture. She was like, automatically mood changed. So she starts taking the picture. I had turned the flash on because the angle that I was in was darker. And she was like, oh, I didn't get no flash, huh? And she was just talking shit the whole time and rushing me and just taking pictures, like not allowing me to pose. So I'm like, never mind. And I went to go reach for the camera. And she was like, oh no. And you could see the way the pictures looked. And her pictures, again, turned out wonderful. Mine were trash. This is this happens to me all the time. I've had other people where I'm like, they want pictures taken. We might be out and about. We might be on vacation, wherever we're at. I'm taking hella pictures, getting all your angles, getting the background, making sure you look great, telling you suck in, stick out, giving you direction, all this. And I understand taking pictures isn't everybody's passion, but you can at least try. Like if I see that you're trying, or if you're taking direction, if I say try this, try that, like I can tell your energy or how you feel about me based on how you are behind that camera. And that's just me. I don't know. Every time it never fails, because there's some people that are not really great at taking pictures, but their effort is there. And it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort and the energy you're showing up with. So, to the conversation about the gay comment. My homeboy knows who I'm talking about because we got into it about it. So we're out of the country together. Again, this is strictly a friend. We're platonic, we cool, we just out the country. I'm wanting to get my motherfucking footage. I want to take pictures. I'm in this country that I ain't been in ever. He's been there before. He's lived there before. So it's not like he's not on his tourist shit. I'm on my tourist shit. So you see that I'm excited. I'm taking my own pictures. I'm taking pictures of the sites. And I want to be in the pictures as well. I don't want to just take pictures of the site. I want people to know. I want my kids, future kids and grandkids to be able to see, look at mama, look at grandma in that country. Look at you at this timestamp of this age. So I want to be in the pictures too. So there were a few times where I asked him, can you take my picture? Can you take my picture? It's not like it's 24/7. Take a picture of me. Take a picture of me. No, it's just special moments, certain landmarks. And I quickly gathered that it wasn't something that he wanted to do maybe after the second time of me asking, because I could feel the energy and I could see the lack of enthusiasm in your face and how you're rushing and how you hand me the phone back. Like, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So there was a particular landmark that we were at where it's literally designed for photos. Like, it has the name of the country, a little place where you could take pictures, and there was a family taking pictures. It was a man taking pictures of his woman and his child. And so I think he looked at me and asked if I would take a picture of all of them. So I was like, of course. So I took a few pictures of them. And then he was like, you want me to take your picture? And I was like, sure. So my homeboy was like, yeah, you take the picture for her. Because she loves it. He made a comment as if like, yeah, finally I got somebody else here to take her picture because I'm sick of it. That was what it, in so many words. So once I got my phone back, I was taking pictures of my homeboy in front of the monument or the landmark thing. Just candid photos. He's taking selfies in front of the thing. So I'm like, let me take a picture. I'm gonna just take a picture. He's like, no, I ain't trying to do all that picture taking and stuff. That's gay to me. So I'm like, so it's less feminine for you to be standing there taking a selfie versus you to just stand there where you are and just look up and I say, snap, snap. And he was like, yeah, he went into a whole thing. He's like, I just feel like that's gay when a man want to take all these pictures and this and that. And even when women want to take all these pictures, and I hate to see a man out doing it. I hate to see a man taking all these pictures of the women. It just seemed gay to me. And I'm like, but most women like taking pictures, especially when they're out and about, when they're dressed up, or when they're traveling. They like having pictures taken of them. And if you date women, shouldn't you be willing to do what women like? And he was just like, he equated it to, okay, if I want to, trigger warning, explicit warning. He basically was like, if I come home and I want my woman to give me head for an hour, should she have to do it because that's what I want, or something like that? And I was just like, so you're equating taking a picture to giving head? And he was like, yeah, because that's what men like. That's what men like. That's why we marry y'all, because we want to fuck. And I'm like, not saying that intimacy isn't important, that sex isn't important, because it is. But how did we get here from taking pictures? So it became a full debate. And he basically was just saying how any woman that want to sit there and have her picture taken Even if they're on vacation, he's not trying to do it. He's not about to do it. The only time that he may do it a couple of times is just to basically appease a woman enough to be able to sleep with her. It was a lot to take in at the time. And, some men may feel like that. I get it. I guess apparently a lot of men do, because I got some of those responses in the comments. But first of all, I don't think that's a great comparison. I think it would be a better comparison, like the one girl said, if your man likes to play video games. I'm not a gamer, period. I've never been a gamer. I see the video game and can walk right past it. But if that's his interest, if that's something that he loves to do, and he says, baby, come play with me, it wouldn't hurt for me to sit down and play the game a couple times. I think that would be a better comparison. So I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Let me get this Vaseline off of my lips, because for some reason it likes to cake up. But yeah, to think that it's feminine to take pictures or to have your picture taken now, I can see if it, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that like somebody said, you better find you a man who wants his picture taken just as much as you do. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like every man that is willing to take a woman's picture is the type of man that always has to have his picture taken too. Like he can just be, he doesn't have to be as into picture taking as me in order to take my picture, because he knows that it brings me joy. But anyway, y'all chime in and y'all let me know if you feel like it's feminine for a man to be out and about taking his woman's pictures. And that was another thing he said. He was like, yeah, you be taking their pictures, and then next thing you know, they want you to hold their purse. And I'm just like, did something happen? Mm-mm. This sounds like a real situation that happened. I don't know. But speaking of deal breakers, I wanted to talk about some of the other ones that I've seen online. I actually posted a question on Threads. Let's see how long ago. On the 31st of January. I said, what's a dating deal breaker you have that others might see as picky or unconventional? And one of mine is aggressive driving. For me, if you drive wild and reckless, please don't try to holler at me, because I am not the passenger. I like to be a passenger princess, but I also have anxiety when it comes to being in cars. So if you're driving fast and out of control, and you're tailgating and you're speeding and you're swerving, and I might swerve on the corner, whoa, oh, whatever the song, if that's you, I'm not your girl. I need a responsible, safe driver. You know, be not aggressive, but be a good defensive driver. Be able to handle the wheel. Be confident in your driving. Absolutely. But an aggressive driver, one that loves to get into road rage, all of that, I can't fool with you. Period. So some of the other people said, yes, God Wellness. Shout out to her, because I've been following her for years on Instagram. She said aggressive communication. I responded and said, I love a man who sets the tone and can regulate his emotions enough to communicate without turning up. She said, yes, God. But that is important. Like, can we communicate without all the yelling, without the name calling, the belittling, the insults? Just talk to me, baby. Like, let's have a conversation. Let's keep it calm. Keep it cute. Like, we can, not saying that a man can't get upset and get passionate, and, sometimes voices get raised a little bit, but don't yell at me. If you feel passionate enough and you feel like you need to take your volume up a little bit, that's okay, but don't yell at me. Somebody said road rage is definitely a deal breaker. Absolutely. We living in a time where ain't nobody got time for you to be honking and being impatient on the road, swerving around people, cutting people off, cussing people out, flipping people off, throwing stuff, getting out the car, wanting to fight. People have guns. and they use them. And we live in Atlanta, so it's the wild, wild South around here. No. Somebody said, "Ooh, I won't date a bad driver either. Tells me that you're careless and lack sense, in my opinion. By the way, I'm so easily turned off. It's crazy. I get on my own nerves sometimes. What's coming to mind is if a man bend over and I see his ass crack, I'm done." I said, "I don't deal with bad drivers. You're not about to activate my anxiety when I'm with you and have me worried when I'm not, LOL. Not the plumber's cleavage, girl. And don't judge me, but it's a little jokey joke. This is a little jokey joke." I said, "A dude I was talking to arched his feet too far from me and I was turned off." Oh, man. So she said, "Ooh, I'm getting nauseous just thinking about that. Plumber's cleavage, that's what it's called. And I could see that and see myself being turned off by that too. It's a hell to the nah, all three." Let's see what other people said. Somebody said not liking their sibling for literally no reason. And that was very specific. But I said family dynamics are definitely important. It is important to check out, yes, it's important to check out the family dynamics and get a little bit of insight. I preach vetting. All of this boils down to vetting. Like even the fact that I found out early that this man ain't willing to take my pictures like that. That's all a part of the vetting process. Like finding out, again, knowing your core values, knowing what's important to you, and being able to express that and set boundaries and have the values that you want as your standards to be met or to be aligned with or to be adjusted to. Not because you're forcing somebody to adjust to them, but maybe you don't have an exact shared value, but after you provide clarity, maybe that's something that they're willing to adjust to on their own. Someone else said crazy. Oh, someone said for them being way too conventional. I said, I feel you on that. She said, like, you look good on paper, but let the paper be a little crinkled, damn it. And I get what she's saying too. Like, loosen up, you know, show me something outside of the box. Like, you might have everything perfect, but perfect is not always preferred. Crazy driving, extreme picky eaters, someone who is not close to any family members, and aggressive behavior. Yeah, extreme picky eaters. Yeah, because like if I cook something and you ain't gonna never be satisfied because I don't eat this, I don't eat that. Ooh, wow. Okay. Mm-mm. I don't like. There's of course everybody has a right to what they don't eat, but I don't like when people are not open to trying certain things or they're still stuck on their childhood palate. Like, oh, I've hated this since I was a child. When the last time you tried it? Since I was a child. Try it again. You might like it. Your adult palate may like it. Like, I didn't like tomatoes at one point. I love tomatoes now. I didn't like cantaloupe and honeydew growing up, banana pudding, peach cobbler, none of that. I eat all of that now. It's delicious. And not being close to any family members, that's kind of a deal breaker to me too, because everybody has their reasons. Sometimes you do got to cut folks off or, lean back a little bit. But family, being family oriented is important to me. Having that family dynamic, especially if we're going to plan on bringing children into the world, I want them to know their father's side of the family. I want them to be close to their father's side of the family. I want our families to blend and connect. So if you beefing with all your damn family, what's up? Is it you or is it them? Either way, I don't want it. um, and then I said, yeah, the family one is a huge red flag in most cases. I've started to side eye men with no friends too. Another woman said, being vegan, LOL. I get it, but I just can't do it. My love language is cooking. I have to be able to cook my man a ribeye. And I said, LOL, I get it. Funny story. When I first went vegan, the guy I was dating was having me cooking oxtail meatloaf with homemade mashed potatoes, chicken fajitas, and big breakfasts with pancakes, sausage, eggs, grits, salmon croquettes, and all kinds of foods I couldn't even eat. We made it work for the time being, though. She said, "Oh man." um, Somebody said, "LOL, cooking a nice juicy piece of seasoned watermelon as fake steak just isn't the same. A mess. I didn't even see this." Um, Another lady said, "Not sharing food, instant deal breaker. 10 out of 10 would never see that person again, friend or romantic interest, ever again." I said, "Dang, I totally support that as your personal boundary, but I would be so sad that you cut me off for that. I grew up as an only child, so I don't really like sharing food. I probably would let you try it though, or buy you some." And then I asked her to elaborate on why that's an instant deal breaker, even though I pretty much understand why, but she didn't come back. I guess she said, "Not associating with you, ma'am." Somebody said when she talked too much about a whole bunch of nothing, just talking to hear herself talk. I said, "Just yapping." He said, "Less yapping, more clapping." Um, Someone else said, "If you're too tight with your family, we're not going to be able to relate at all. So to me, that's just a casual friend, hi, hello only." I said, like to the point, hold on. I said, like to the point of them interfering with your relationship tight or spending too much time together tight. He said, both sound applicable. Someone else said, bad dining etiquette, chewing with your mouth open, not laying the napkin over your lap, double dipping. I just can't. I said, ooh, I can't do the smacking and stuff in the face for real. Someone else said it's the opposite with me. There's never enough time in my day, so I'm not dating someone whose driving always makes me worry I'll be later than I already am. I said, oh Lord, y'all need to go to the racetrack with all that. And someone else said use of disrespectful slang to describe those of other lifestyles. I said, I don't like that either, or being too judgy. Mind your own business. So those are just a few um, maybe petty or picky or unconventional deal breakers that some people have. And I think it's very important to know your deal breakers and to, um, stand on business about them. If it's something that you don't want in your relationship, then you are entitled to stand on business with that. And if you have problems or challenges or difficulties or hesitancies or resistance when it comes to setting healthy boundaries, you need to be on the wait list for my Power of No cohort, and it's going to be a book as well, The Power of No, teaching you how to set your boundaries, let go of being a people pleaser, and being able to say no without guilt. So if you have challenges with that and you want to be on the wait list for The Power of No, just holler at me, DM me, comment, or email me at oshacerese@gmail.com, The Power of No. I want to also talk about another comment that I got under my post about the pictures because I think it's very important. So John, is it Jonathan? John, it's not Jonathan. John Atan Backeli, JonAtanBacklie. He said, I deserve that same energy. Let me read what he's responding to. So I said, as someone who has always been the camera woman, taking candids of others, capturing memories, and getting the best angles for everyone to enjoy the way their snapshots come out, I deserve the same energy. He said, I deserve that same energy. Kind of jumps out at me. This is an experience of unequal treatment that you've experienced with other people. And I'm sorry you've experienced that. That's in no way fair to you. Making that a thing with someone who wasn't involved in those situations, well, that's moving the problem away from where it should be resolved in the first place. So, yes, you deserve that energy back. but he's not involved in the situation where you were overlooked or disregarded. So I said, I understand and agree with what you're saying. My intention in sharing that here and with him is and was not to punish him for my past. It was simply to provide clarity of why gestures like that are important to me. Having those experiences didn't make me bitter, but they did teach me how important being seen, included, valued, and loved on in the ways I best receive it is. My desire to have that in my partner wasn't imposed on him nor expected after he set his boundaries. I fully accepted it. He said, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Thanks for clarifying. And of course, you and everyone are allowed to set whatever parameters that feels important to you in order to have what you feel is a truly fulfilling relationship. Wishing you luck with your future dating and that you'll find someone more in tune with your wants and needs. So I said, you're welcome. I appreciate you for acknowledging how important it is not to make your future partner pay for what you've been through in your past. That is very important. Thank you. I received it. So I wanted to talk more about that too before we wrap it up. So there are some examples of the key difference between setting a boundary and punishing a future partner. Um, and basically, all of that lies in awareness, communication, and fairness. So, a boundary is about protecting your well being and ensuring your needs are met, while punishment is projecting past pain onto someone who hasn't done anything to deserve it. So, let me give you a few examples. If your past experiences growing up, you had a parent who was emotionally unavailable, dismissing your feelings or shutting down when conflict arose. In past relationships, you dated partners who avoided deep conversations, making you feel unseen and unheard. Now, if you choose to take the lesson and create a boundary out of it, you now recognize that you need open and honest communication in a relationship. Your boundary is that you will only date people who are emotionally available, and willing to work through challenges instead of shutting down. You communicate this expectation early on and choose partners who align with it. Now, an example of punishing someone for this: instead of setting a healthy boundary, you assume anytime your partner is quiet or needs space, they're emotionally unavailable. You accuse them of shutting down before even understanding their perspective. This is punishing them for what your past partners did or what your parents did, rather than assessing them as an individual. Another example: in a past relationship, you were with someone controlling who constantly questioned your whereabouts, checked your phone, and made you feel suffocated. So, if you pull the lesson from that and set a boundary, you now value trust and independence. In a relationship, your boundary is that you will not entertain partners who are possessive or don't respect your personal freedom. If someone exhibits red flags of control, you step away. If you want to punish somebody for what you've been through, instead of setting a boundary, you automatically assume that any check in or curiosity about your day means the new partner is controlling. You snap at them for asking simple questions, assuming they'll turn into your ex rather than allowing space for a healthy relationship dynamic. Example number 3: if you were in a relationship where your partner rarely affirmed you, never said I love you, and never made you feel like you had to earn, or they always made you feel like you had to earn their affection. If you take the lesson and set a boundary, you recognize that words of affirmation and physical affection are important to you. Moving forward, you communicate that need You communicate that you need a partner who expresses love in ways that make you feel secure. You choose partners who naturally align with that or are willing to meet that need. If you're punishing your partners, you expect your new partner to overcompensate for what your ex didn't do, demanding constant reassurance or assuming they don't love you if they don't express it exactly how you want, even if they show love in other ways. And this specific example, this is the perfect type of person that would benefit from my program, 5 Ways in 5 Days. 5 Ways in 5 Days helps you to uncover any blockages you may have with giving and receiving love. It shows you if you're suffering from things like this. Like, it helps you identify what your love language is. It helps you to understand how to incorporate your love languages into your daily acts of self-love and self-care, so you can learn how to affirm yourself. You can learn how to spend amazing quality time with self. Sit with your own self, sit with your thoughts, your feelings, mindfulness. It teaches you how to provide acts of service for yourself, acts of kindness, how to show up for yourself, how to embrace physical touch or gain physical touch outside of a romantic partner. Also teaches you how to receive gifts from yourself. Not just, it might not just be ordering yourself flowers, it could be, or buying yourself nice things. It could be more specific, like buying things that only spark joy in your life, or investing in experiences, investing in your education, investing in things that's going to make your money grow. It's a whole program that teaches you ways to pour into yourself, but the more important thing is uncovering those blockages that you have with giving and receiving love. And so you won't be punishing yourself or others, um, like this example explained. So that's called 5 Ways in 5 Days. It not only comes with the program, but you also get a free coaching session with that. OshaCerese.com. So um, those are a few examples how to differentiate between setting a boundary from a lesson that you've pulled from past experiences versus punishing your future partner from for your past experiences. Make sure you're checking your intentions. Are you setting this boundary to protect your peace, or are you reacting from the past wounds? Communicate and don't assume. Instead of jumping to conclusions, which a lot of us do, have conversations about your needs and expectations. Give your partner room to be themselves. Not everyone will act like your past partners. Assess them for who they are, not who you fear they will become. And of course, therapy and self reflection, healing past wounds help you to ensure you're making choices from clarity and not fear. And again, you need to visit OshaCerese.com, because this could be something that you're doing and you're showing up in relationships, punishing people for your past hurts. It might be a love language thing, or it might be something even deeper. If it's something even deeper, you probably want to log into OshaCerese.com and check out One Single Step at a Time. That's a 6-week guided program. It is all about addressing those inner child wounds, healing the inner child, doing some self evaluations and self reflections, understanding what's happened in your past relationships. What did you contribute? Not just this person did that to me, that person did this to me. What were your contributions? Taking some accountability, getting to know yourself, self discovery, self reflection, acceptance, forgiveness, letting go, self love, of course, self care. Also, who are you? What do you like? What makes you tick? What makes you happy? What sparks joy? Actually having some exercises that are going to prompt you to do these things, push you out there a little bit. And then we'll work on a plan of action for your future goals in life, career, and love. Also, in this program, it helps you to identify what you want. What are your core values? What are some of the red flags to look out for in your dating process? So this program, One Single Step at a Time, is 6 weeks. Again, it's very guided, and it comes with coaching. So you're going to be getting coaching every week while you're in the program. You're going to have a session at the end of each week, and it comes along with the guided journal, How to Beat Single. If you're not ready for either of these workshops, go ahead and just copy you a guided journal. You can do this on your own time, your own pace, and it has a lot of the same um, prompts and activities and exercises in it that you would get from the program. So $20, get you a guided journal. Or if you would like to just do one-on-one coaching, you need somebody to hold space for you, to unpack things, to just help you on your journey of healing, self-love, self-discovery, or intentional dating. Because, baby, sometimes you just need some support in these dating streets. You need help learning how to vet, learning how to maintain your self-worth and your standards. Maybe you're on an abstinence journey and you need support with that. Book a discovery call. It's free. It's basically a full session because it's an hour long. I allow you to tell me your story, your needs, and I find out how I can best support you. But the free discovery call, people be getting off of that call healed. I ain't gonna say that. The healing journey starts at the discovery call. There is no destination to being healed, but you definitely will have some value from that discovery call. So book that. It's completely free if you don't know which route to take. Make sure you're subscribed to the newsletters. And again, if you want to write me a letter about something that you've gone through, something you're going through, something you want me to unpack or coach you through anonymously, send it to oshacerese@gmail.com. That's OSHACERESE@gmail.com. Let me give you all a few or a couple of journaling prompts and then we'll wrap up. It's been almost an hour and a half of me yapping. So what are some small things that matter deeply to you in relationships? So we talked about today, I called them petty or unconventional or picky, but let's just say small. What are some small things, and small in quotes because they're big to you? But what are some small things that matter deeply to you in relationships? Have you ever dismissed something as not a big deal only to later realize that it was? Have you ever dismissed something as not a big deal only to later realize that it actually was? And how can you communicate these things to a partner in a way that sets clear expectations? How can you communicate these things to a partner in a way that sets clear expectations? So, at the end of the day, because the day got to end, if it's a tree, a camera, photo shoot, or a random moment that doesn't seem major, if it matters to you, it matters. So take some time to reflect on what matters most to you. What are some of your needs? What are some of your deal breakers? What are the things that make you tick? What are some non-negotiables that you have, whether they are small or big, that you're going to stand on business about in your journey of dating, relationships? Maybe it's something, maybe you're in a relationship or you're married and you realize you've been letting shit slide. I ain't trying to start nothing, but I'm just saying, maybe it's something you need to communicate to your partner, that I've been sweeping this under the rug, but this is important to me and here's why. Maybe you're the guy, maybe you're the gamer, and you want your woman to come play with you on the game sometimes, and she's always dismissing you and saying, that's not my thing. Maybe have a conversation with her like, babe, I know this is not your thing, but it's my thing. And sometimes I just want you in my presence while we're playing, and I want to teach you some of the things, or I want to share with you something that sparks joy for me. It's not something you have to do all the time, but every now and then I would love for you to join me with the game. If you are like me and you're in this relationship, but you feel like you want your man or your woman to take more pictures of you, more candids. I saw what is his name? Kenny Lattimore, one of my favorite R&B singers, and his new wife, Faith Jenkins, let me get it right. They recently had a baby girl. She's maybe close to 2 now. And she mentioned how she told Kenny that she wanted him to capture more candid photos of her and the baby. And she did a little joking reel showing like all the beautiful candids that she had taken of him and the baby. And then when she asked him for more, all of them was ugly, like her ugly sleeping in the rocking chair with the baby and stuff like that. So it was funny, but you know, at least he's trying. So just a conversation to be able to give insight and not to keep minimizing your own needs and desires just so you won't ruffle some feathers. Have a conversation about it. It may make a world of difference. And that's why we call them love language, because it speaks to you. And if your partner isn't fluent in your love language, are they willing to try? Are they willing to learn? Are they willing to put forth effort in speaking your love language? That's all. So thank you all again for tuning in to the Osha Cerese Show. We 23 days in. I hope you all have a great start to your Monday. This is a new week, new opportunity to have amazing energy, amazing attitudes, amazing opportunities. New opportunity for new opportunities. Um, don't let anybody take you off your square. Be open to having those tough conversations. And remember, I'm always here to support you if you need support. OshaCerese.com. Thank you all for tuning in again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And I will talk to you later. Good night.